Hey my dudes, I'm Neva, and I like to explore things like beauty and fashion and skincare through a science lens. Today we're going to be looking at my notes on jade rollers. I'm going to do this entire video barefaced because that's how you should be when you're putting on a jade roller. You don't want to be wearing makeup and just pushing the makeup into your skin. We hold tension in so many different ways. Unclench those jaw muscles and relax those forehead wrinkles, and release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. You can also just use a jade roller for a little bit of an at-home spa experience. Originally from China, jade rollers have been in use for hundreds of years, and they've recently gotten kind of trendy. To be honest, I was a little worried making this video at first because not all trends are great. Some of them are pretty stupid and honestly kind of gross, but not to worry, there's lots of science to back up this magical rolling wand. So there's basically two parts here. There's the rolling and the stone. There's a lot of stuff backing up these facial massaging rollers, so I'm going to start with that and then come back to the second part, the jade, later. Massaging rollers have been shown to help with acne, dryness, rosacea, depuffing, brightening complexion, minimizing pores, decreasing under eye circles, calming inflammation, and balancing the fluid in your tissues. The massaging rollers do all of this by firstly reducing your muscle tension and improving your circulation, and secondly by helping with lymphatic drainage. Like anything that massages you, you can also use this to help disguise sleep deprivation by glowing up your skin a little bit, depuffing your eyes, and reducing the dark circles under your eyes temporarily. If you're like me and you grind your teeth a lot and like furrow your brows a lot, this can help a lot with that. Your body dumps toxins and waste and all the unwanted crap into these things called lymph nodes, which are all over your body. In our head and neck, there's over 300 lymph nodes, all carrying lymphatic fluid. So anything that massages you can help drain the lymphatic fluid from those nodes. You definitely don't want to use a roller on lymph nodes that are swollen or tender or have been extra firm, especially if they've been feeling like that for a couple of weeks. You might just want to put down the roller and go get that checked out. So coming back to that second part, the jade itself. A lot of people feel that jade can help change negative energy into positive energy and that it promotes inner peace and prosperity and protection, but the magic, if you will, of the jade is a little bit more intricate. So let's walk through how you kind of test a stone's ability to heal. First, you check to see what exactly is inside of jade and what effect each of these things has on the body. Since the only thing I really have to check this is just a pair of nice glasses, we can just look online for some professional information. Unfortunately, when I looked online, there wasn't actually any direct proof of the benefits of jade, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you personally will not get benefits from it, and there's a couple explanations for why this is. So if we look at the stuff inside of jade, it has a lot of naturally occurring and biologically active minerals that have been proven to be beneficial for us. Whether those things can actually enter through our skin? Probably not. There are some beneficial properties of jade. Like for example, if you heat it, it can release far infrared rays, which have been really useful for therapies, and it also emits negative ions. There have been a lot of studies that explain how negative ions can be helpful, but none of those studies looked at negative ions from jade specifically, so I'm not really sure what the connection is. A Korean Skin Research Institute looked at the effects of jade powder on the skin and found that it had some benefits, mostly in improving circulation and in revitalizing the skin. But even though none of this information has been really proven, I think it's important to remember what you believe. If you really feel and believe that the jade has healing properties and all these other things, the body will actually perceive that and you will get those benefits. If you don't, then you'll just get the other benefits, which is okay too. I got my jade roller from Honeybell, and the link is in the description below. You don't necessarily have to buy jade, there's other stones like quartz as well. When you're buying a roller, roll it a little bit to make sure it doesn't squeak. Look around the sides to check if there's any residual glue for whatever reason, and also do that a little bit so that you can see whether the roller just pops right off or if it's actually threading all the way through the stone. If you want to be sure you're getting a real jade roller, you can hold it up to the light and see if there's any imperfections or graininess to the light that shines through the jade. Synthetic jade will just have clear, pure, homogeneous light shining through it. So there's 3 different ways to use these. I'm going to be going through each and every one, but if you're interested in one specifically, you can head over to my Instagram page where I'll have videos for each one specifically. You want to make sure that for all of these, you start with a clean face so you're not just pushing grime and bacteria and makeup into your skin. You don't have to sit down and do it. It's a very passive activity, so you can just walk around your house and do it if you want. Some people keep their rollers in the fridge to make it extra cool, because anything that's cold and applied to your skin is going to constrict blood vessels and reduce eye puffiness or inflammation. It's similar to when people put cucumber slices or frozen peas or ice packs, but I mean ice packs on your skin is actually kind of negative, so maybe don't do that part. Also the jade stone is cool naturally to the touch. The deep huffing and stuff is really temporary and very mild, so I feel you're better off just using a product for that because you're not getting much return. So I'm going to start with the most popular way to use these rollers, which is for hydrating. You definitely want to start with cleaning your skin on this one. You can use something like a moisturizer or a sheet mask, although I really like using a sheet mask because the feeling is just really nice. So here I have this cute little strawberry sheet mask, and after fending off these cats, I can struggle with putting it on. Is it just me, or does anyone else have these like awkward minutes where you're trying to do your best to get it on, but it's really hard, and it seems like the only dude who can do it was this guy? Anyways, so back to rollers. It's basically like drawing a line from the center of your face and then rolling outward. Some people say to only go in one direction, but this wouldn't matter for hydration. I start at the center of my forehead and then roll out with some light pressure. Like I said, this is really passive, so I'm just going to be reading my excellent book, The Vagina Bible, while I do the rest of this. Next, I use the smaller side for my eyes and nose, and then switch back to the larger side for my cheeks and my jaw and roll down my neck. You don't want to do this with something that's like a deep exfoliator or a cleanser like an acid peel or something, because that would just rub your skin really raw. It's been like disgustingly cold lately, so the heaters have been on 24/7, and my skin has gotten really dry and kind of flaky almost from that, so I'm gonna just hang out a little bit and let my skin like just soak it all in. Since the roller is kind of sticky now, I'm also going to rinse it off so stuff doesn't attach to it and grow. If you want to get the most from your skincare actives, a roller will help your skin absorb it. Want clean skin for this, because that also maximizes absorption. I'm going to be trying out this strawberry C serum. Vitamin C makes your skin brighter and hydrated and more even-toned, so we'll see how this works since it's an extraction from strawberries. Also, this stuff was kind of expensive for my broke grad student ass, so I want to use it to the fullest because there's really not that much in this. So I just apply a few drops and then get my roller and start to roll around, about 3 to 5 times in each quadrant of the face. The serum doesn't really smell like much, but it's not like the strawberry scent was also a part of the serum, so that's good because sometimes fragrances will irritate the skin, so you want to have things be fragrance-free. It's also important to note that jade is kind of a porous stone, and you don't want product to get deep into the stone, especially if it's like a prescription drug, so just make sure that you clean the roller afterwards with like a gentle soap. This last one for lymphatic drainage is especially helpful if you want to depuff like right after you wake up. So as usual, I start out with washing my face, and for this one, make sure I have super hydrated skin, because pulling on the skin leads to like tension, wrinkles, and that sort of thing, so I want to make sure that the roller has some slip. This method is the same for fingers, because there's basically pressure points that you can push on. Distracting all the boys with my shoulders. I start at my clavicle and neck to create an opening for the lymphatic fluid to go through. I can roll in like both directions because the skin is really hydrated, and the waste fluid like needs to go out and the nutritious fluid needs to come in, so it just makes sense to go both ways. So I skip the windpipe and just roll down the neck. I don't roll in both directions, which is how you roll for everything else. So next I go up along the chin, along the jaw, and then go down towards the neck. I want to make sure that my lips are pretty hydrated for this, so I have this like nice whipped shea butter like chapstick sort of thing, so I roll out from the center of my lips after I've put that on. And then I roll up the cheeks to accentuate cheekbones. I feel like my face is like really square shaped and it's always kind of bothered me, but I'm working on not caring about that anymore. So then I use the smaller side under my eye and gently roll out. For the forehead, I start in the center and then roll like up and down sideways. It's kind of hard to explain auditorily, but you can kind of visually see it. And then for my eyebrows, I just roll outward, but I make sure to close my eyes for this part so that I don't like accidentally hit myself in the eyeball with this thing. And then the last thing I do is my nose. And that's how you do it for lymphatic drainage. As much as these things help, there are a lot of cons. I think the biggest one is that, like any muscle thing, you have to use it very regularly to see any real noticeable difference. Also, if you're not careful, it could just spread germs, and if you're just rolling a germy thing over your skin, it could like lead to breakouts and inflamed hair follicles and infections, so basically just make sure you're cleaning it. The price points can get really high if you want real jade, so if you're a person who wants like real jade, just make sure you're not getting duped by a lot of the fake jade that's out there. Lastly, even though jade has a reputation as being a healing stone, there's no actual evidence that it supports skin collagen production or elasticity. There's no evidence for anti-aging. The only way I can imagine this happening is if it reduces your stress levels, and a lot of conditions just get worse with stress. So anything that's like a nice like feel-good self-care activity that reduces your stress is totally worth it. I can maybe imagine that it helps if you use it like every single day for your entire life, but there's products for that, and it's just not worth sinking all your time and effort into this for very little return. It's better to use jade rollers for like the massaging benefits and just like the temporary feel good, but if you're really dedicated to anti-aging, I would recommend actives like retinol, for example. This video was such a perfect blend of like science and beauty, and I spent a lot of time like researching everything and trying to give it a fair view. So there you have it, all things jade rolling and science and skincare. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a like or a subscribe, or do both, or do neither, because honestly, I'm just really happy that you're watching. So with that said, I'll see you guys on the next page.